Hi everybody. In this screencast, I'm going to talk about a question I asked the Grand Canyon Private Boaters Association, and their response to it so far. Simple question is this: what do the 95% of people who apply for a Grand Canyon private river trip and lose, they don't get their permit, do? What should they do to access the canyon? And I posted this question on their Facebook page quite a while ago, over a couple weeks ago now. And I think I got a bit of an answer. I mean, mostly what happens is that they try. I feel like the people on the board try and make it about me, and they ask me how many times I've gone, and they try and take the camera, so to speak, off the thousands of people who are losing every year and put it on me as if I'm some like bad guy, and maybe I am, because I realize the information I'm talking about doesn't uh, um, meet with what they represent. So Grand Canyon private boaters. If we Google Grand Canyon private boaters, we go to their website. It says we can go to their mission statement, which is ensure the ability for all to obtain on an equal and timely basis an opportunity to experience a float trip through the Grand Canyon while protecting the resource. And so my question for them is, again, just to say it again, is, well, here's a system for private boaters. 4%, loss rates are in the 95 percentile. Only 4% of people win. And of course, this data comes straight from the park. You can click on this link here. I'll just show that out. So these numbers aren't like fabricated. They're not anecdotal. They come from the park. 5,550 people applied for the 2017 main lottery. There are 472 applications. You can see these numbers right here. All I do is divide the winners by the losers and convert that number to a percent. We have an average down here and a median here, which is even worse, right? And I did that for every lottery in the 2017 year in the spreadsheet. So there shouldn't be any misconceptions here about the park's data. There's nothing anecdotal. It's all straight from the park. So I'm going to read Walter's response to my comment, or my question. And this is a former head of the Grand Canyon Private Boaters Association. Buck, you keep repeating the same story about those who do win in the lottery. They are losers, and use the same misleading assumptions that a lottery application and a person are the same. You are a good example. You applied to 3 lotteries and lost each time. That is not 3 people. It is 1 person who lost 3 times. You're stating that 11,000 people were losers, and it's just not right. It may have be 8,000 plus who each lost 3 times. You also fail to recognize that many people who do not win end up on the river anyway on other permits, yet your number included then in the loser category. You also fail to account for a group of, say, 16 applies for the same date to go as a group. That's 48 applications and only 16 people. How do your numbers account for 1 person of that group scoring a trip and all 16 get to go? Your numbers represent this 1 winner and 47 losers. Also, you can't relate any equivalence to the 8,000 waitlist persons limited to 1 application to 25,000 applications, misrepresenting 3 to 48 applications. Please stop trying to mislead by using applications and people interchangeably. How is it that a lot of people go every year? I suspect you're one, and never have a permit of their own. Many do not even apply. Pick better dates and have more friends. So, again, I'll just say they're trying to make it about me, not about the people who lose. Let's start with the logic here, though, right? Again, it's really important to realize these are not numbers I made up. They come from the National Park Service. So let's talk about the permit party scenario. If you have a permit party in the first lottery, you say you and 15 of your buddies apply for the same 5 dates, or any dates, and you win, and everyone's listed on that permit, they don't apply for the next lottery. They can't apply. That's against the rules. The rules are right here. And it talks about that. Once you're listed on a permit, you can't apply for another permit in that year. So that's a big misconception I think you have about the data. All right. Let's say you have a permit party with 15 people and yourself, and no one wins. So you apply to the second one, right? If you don't win on the first lottery, you're still a loser, right? You still had your loss rate of, in the first one it was 9%, in the second one it was 2%, and the other one it was less than 1%. This one was 0.5%, right? Those loss rates are still the same. So you can apply again. You're still one person, one permit, right? So you can't have. I'm not sure where that idea that there's multiple people on one permit. A person who loses can apply again, but they're still a loser if they could lose again, right? So this person had an application in this lottery, and then they could still apply for this second lottery and still lose, right? But there's still one person, one app each lottery. So they still lost lottery 1, they still lost lottery 2, assuming they applied to each one. We don't know. The Park Service doesn't give us that data. But we do know that this is the total number of people who lost each one of these prospective lotteries, and we can add those numbers up. Same with the losers. Right? So it's very simple math. The last thing I want to hit on real quick is his question is, how do people go every year? It's really simple. There's 4 ways for people to go every year. One is to win a permit. You have a 4% chance to do that, right? That's the lottery, big picture data. It's the hardest way to go is to win a permit. It's the most unlikely. The second way is to find someone who has a permit. All that data is anecdotal, meaning there's no way to quantify it. We don't know how many of these losers got on other trips, but we do know that exactly how many winners and losers there are in each lottery because the Park Service makes that data available. The other way is to either just to book a commercial trip, right? So if I Google Grand Canyon River trips, Grand Canyon River trips, I got a lot of options right away. Let's click on the first one, indexed in Google. Here we go. You can book a commercial river trip very, very easily. Say I want to do a 7-day trip. This is so much easier than the lottery. I can book one for April 18th. Click I understand. Of course I want a charter flight out of Marble Canyon. Who wouldn't? Helicopters in the Grand Canyon, right? Add that in. Looks like their web server is a little slow, but they have really good SEO. All right. So this is a little convoluted because it has 2 trips in the cart. So it's not exactly accurate. I'm going to remove one of them. And then I can check out. Less than $3,500 later, all I got to do is add this information in, click submit. It would take me less than 5 minutes to put all this information in, and then I got a trip on the Grand Canyon. So the easiest way to go is commercial. I wonder, for Grand Canyon Private Boaters Association, again, how is this fair? How is it fair that one group, 95% of the people lose who apply, and then the other group, all you got to do is spend 5 minutes on a website and spend less than $3,500, and then you get to go, right? How did we get here? And because it seems unethical, right? It doesn't seem like this system's working. So that's it. Perhaps the board can look at this screencast and maybe give them a better answer of, what these losers are to do, right? What they recommend. How do they recommend these people have an equal and timely basis opportunity to experience a float trip to the Grand Canyon while protecting the resource? Is that equal? Is it equal? Is this system where 95.6% of the people who apply lose equal to this one, this commercial system that takes 5 minutes and you go? I don't know. It doesn't seem equal to me. And so that's why I want more information for the Grand Canyon Private Boaters Association board. I want them to speak to this. As always, the links to all this information will be in right below this video, so you can click on them and verify the data for yourself. Thanks. Bye.